difficult to call the entire name, so you can use the easier way, which is KG. Most of the people call me as KG, right? So, but I come from Hyderabad, and any one of you who visited Hyderabad? No? Okay. So do come. We also have a small institute there. We can provide you the accommodation. You can look at other enterprises like yours, figure out something new there. Okay. Happy to host you there. So I am from Hyderabad. I was born in Hyderabad. Sometime I was brought up in Chennai, and subsequently I did my graduation and post graduation at Gujarat, Anand, and subsequently I've been working as an social entrepreneur. And it's now 2 decades, in fact, 22 years, 23 years since I've started working. And I must say that during this entire tenure, I would have started or incubated more than 100 such kind of enterprises. Uh, some were started in haste, so we didn't continue with those enterprises. But some were started with a lot of thought, and they continue to exist. So many of these enterprises have multi-crore turnovers, but that's not the only criteria. And as Sonam had said, what's the impact that these enterprises generate? So if you look at it, all of these 100 enterprises that we have promoted are enterprises owned by women, and women from tribal and rural areas. So these enterprises, they have turnovers of 100 crores, 10 crores, 5 crores, 6 crores. But more importantly, most of these enterprises have ensured that the income of women multiplies, doubles, or triples. So a normal farmer usually gets around 60,000 rupees per annum as income in India. So those women who are farmers and who are part of the enterprises that we promote, they usually earn anything around 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh rupees. Similarly, handloom weavers, weaving. Have you seen handloom weaving? So handloom weaving, a weaving enterprise, women usually get around 60 to 70,000 rupees per annum. But women who work in their own enterprises, which are promoted by us, they earn around 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh rupees per annum. So we have seen doubling and tripling of incomes, which has significantly improved their own household quality of life, and therefore transformed the way in which their household is organized and also the villages are organized. So this is my background, working with women, promoting enterprises for them. All of them are social enterprises, many of them successful, some of them not as successful, some of them also failed and we have wound up, right? And but most of them creating definite impact on their own households as well as the economy in the rural areas. So that's me. So if you want to know a little bit more, I will keep sharing as and when, and I'll also cite a lot of examples. But before we go further, I would want to understand your background and quickly some introduction from your side so that we are able to spend the next 3 4 days in a way that it really meets your needs, right? Okay. So where do we start? Okay, we can start from here. You can tell your name and then the enterprise, and also tell me 1 or 2 lines on what you expect in the next 2 3 days here.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Tenzin Norbu. We are planning to actually our goal is we are planning to construct something different, something like passive solar building in the far flung areas of Ladakh, in Pangong area, in Anle areas. So for that we are here, came here for to get some knowledge about passive solar. and to get some knowledge about some entrepreneurship skills. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
One of my friends is also Sterling. He comes from Nubra Valley. He also has a property in ecotourism site.
Jule, Namaskar, and hello to everyone. So, me along with my brother Stanzin. Uh, so, I'll start with a little background of our education and what we did it, in last few years. So, he's civil engineering background, and I was in NIT Nagpur computer science, and I dropped out. Uh, and in 2016 or 17, I came back to Leh. I worked for some travel company uh, for 2 3 years. Uh, in my family owned properties in Nubra and Pangong, my father and my elder brother, they already have camps in Nubra and Pangong, and they have released out some properties in Leh also. So in 2020, during COVID time, we had nothing to do. All the properties were shut. So me and my brother started a, this grocery or Ladakh Mart. So we, I actually, I was the only local guy from Ladakh who used to fetch vegetables during winter time from Delhi. So the business was good, but the this whole business was particularly dominated by the Kashmiris. So I had little struggle in the beginning, but the local people, being a local, they supported quite well. So then the COVID thing uh, disappeared, or still there, but kind of. So last year during winter time, we both were sitting, and we were planning to do something on our own, like not continuing our family this thing business or. Uh, so we were sitting and we were like, let's do something in Pangong area, since we were tourism based. So we thought of setting up a camp. We found a place to set up a camp. So we started around March. We went to Delhi. We did some shopping and all. We came back. We started a small camp, budget camp. So we got quite a good response. Then what we saw in the Pangong area was the service thing was not there. All the tourists was coming. They were having difficulty of the basic service, like the electricity is not there, the toilets are not good, so the basic things. So then we roam around for a month or two in Pangong. Then we found a good place to set up a good property, not that high standard, but the basic things. So then we started a property called Misty Hills Cabins. So uh, as of now, it is the we have 9 cabins right now. So the most highest rated property in Pangong on Google, if you look, and the best selling of this year. So we were the last to operate. We uh, we closed on 2nd November. So till that time, we our property was fully booked. So we got a quite a good response. So now, actually, before that, we were planning to do something of solar passive kind of a thing, but we were financially not sound to set up this kind of property. So we started with the normal thing. So now we are planning to do something different. This solar passive kind of a thing. So recently we got to see about this beautiful seminar. So we were very, uh, mm, wanted to participate in this. So if nothing, we'll get to learn a lot from people like you. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, my name is Stanzin. Me and my friends sitting here, uh, we are trying to promote sports like at a professional level for kids. Like so,
Little bit more about the project.
project. So actually, we this beginning of the summer only we started this
You
project.
set up a company now for that?
Yeah. So it's called the Himalayan Sports Service.
Oh,
So our main intention is to like give platform for the kids like who really need like want to uplift their sports and go like at a professional level. So like That's our goal.
So he is himself a national, international ice hockey player.
Wow.
Represented the country also. And so that's what also you learn how to pitch yourself also. You should first line should be I'm a this thing got this championship. So it establishes your credentials is what you're trying to do. So that's what we will learn that how to present, how to pitch also. So in the first 30 seconds you get the other person's attention. And they're wanting to set up a ice hockey rink, which would become a skating rink in summer.
Thanks. Thank you. It was the same. So,
No, but a little bit about you.
sure. Hi, Julie. My name is Jay. So, very much what my brother said. So basically क्या हो रहा है कि हिंदी लगा
हाँ 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 हिंदी लद्दाखी
जी हाँ लगा कि there's ice hockey kids here, right? Ice hockey. So basically, I don't play ice hockey. I've been seeing a lot of kids, playing. Most खेलते हैं, but only for like 2 months, है ना? तो उसमें क्या होता है बच्चे का कुछ डेवलप होता नहीं है. So to like gain it, I don't know how much about it. So so हम एक ground बना रहे हैं जो basically throughout the year चलेगा. During winters, by the grace of nature, हम ice बनाएंगे, है ना? And during the summer, the plan is to make a roller hockey ground for the kids at least, to stay in touch with the sport. And as you can see, the whole national team is full of the lucky people, right? So the future is what they go to army. That's pretty much it. So we don't want to stay there. We want to uplift it actually, so that who knows, and after a few years, the kids will actually make a name for themselves and the dog as well. Yeah.
So the problem is that Stanzen and they even just with 2 months of training, they are able to compete internationally very well and win championships. But places like Canada and others internationally, they have all year round facilities where people can train. So they are wanting to see how to extend the 2 month training period so that more students come out and better skilled. Thank you.
Julie, good morning. My name is Dixon Dalton, and I'm an ex-HIAL employee. And the enterprise is called McCoy. So it was started by my partner. Unfortunately, she had to leave, Dishkit. And McCoy, what it means is it's called McCoy Apothecary, where we plan to understand and explore the medicinal properties of the Himalayan plants and herbs. Just going away from just the Sibakhan and basic things. What we understand is the ancient art, which we call the Amchi medicine. So that's something still being explored. Our products involve like hydrosols, lip balm, and bath salts to begin with, but there are a lot of opportunities. But at the same time, we want to keep it, the USP is keep it micro batches. You see that people now they have shifted to they're more aware, understand what going back to Ayurveda or natural stuff is. That's something we want to explore to keep it minimum, micro batches, keep it very controlled, and at the same time understand the fact that the plants and herbs which are grown in wild, people are not aware of it. It might be growing in every Ladakhi household has its house, local garden, kitchen garden we have. They grow those plants, but they're not aware the medicinal properties of it. They don't know how to commercialize it. They just restrict to the vegetables and the fruits they have. That's why we want to understand, give them a channel to get into the market, and at the same time understand what the market wants, because it's still a niche product, and we do want to restrict to a premium niche sector and see how it goes. And for the couple of days that what we are looking forward is, first of all, because it's skincare wellness, it requires a lot of certifications and it requires money. So that's one thing. Next is again, it's a baby project. You tend to be focused with the good things that you are not aware of it, because for you it's the perfect thing. So coming to such an event gets you open up your mind, take your feedback, because we'll be still restricted to our mind or a small bubble that this is the product I want, this is the market, and this is what the people demand. So coming to such an event opens up your mind, understand that, this could be seen in a different way. Oh, this is where I'm going wrong. Because we're in that nascent stage, we still expect that we have the flexibility to improve, to change, and maybe change even the structure of it, because the vision and mission will remain the same. That's not something that's going to change, but the structure, which how we approach the market, the GTM strategy can be improved. So for me, like that's something like the basic and primary. That's yes, money is important because certification does super expensive. going organic costs around 3 lakhs per annum to get that certification. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
You're registered as a company.
Yes, MSN.
MSME is just a
Not
registration
exactly.
certification. But
Correct.
do you have a registration in company?
Not yet.
ROC.
Not yet. So to do it in Leh, I guess you need a physical store to there, but we're doing it online. I don't think there are any certifications required for now because we're doing it at a very small scale. We just started last year and we sold just like a prototype. So we still yet
You're
to.
selling, you have a GST?
No, not yet.
Not a GST.
But we are not because we didn't go full scale. We just wanted to send it to our friends and families and see what the feedback is. Because again, hydrosols is some a sector not very many people are aware of it. They haven't heard of it. So that's something we're still in that prototype phase.
Hello everyone, my name is Lundu Dorje and currently I'm working at HIAL. So I completed my BTech in computer science from Delhi in 2021 last year. So I'm very much connected with tourism and education. So I've started my own travel agency last year, but not that much. Just started and just executed. Okay. So my travel agency name is Omaju. So Omaju and I just want there in Ladakh there are many abandoned villages. Okay, in future there will be more abandoned villages. So I just want to rehabilitate those villages through tourism. Okay, by bringing the tourists and like that. So I'm just planning it for here. I just want to. I came here for. I don't have much business idea. So how to grow a business, how to start a business. So just wanted to learn how to start a business and grow a business. Thank you.
So travel agency is registered?
Not yet.
Hello everyone, I'm Utkarsha. मैं architect हूँ. Did my graduation last year. So मेरे कोर्स में पार्टिसिपेट हुई इसलिए क्योंकि मुझे लगता है मेरे पास जो स्किल्स है वो मैं मतलब कुछ बिजनेस मुझे स्टार्ट करना है तो उसमें मैं कैसे वो यूज कर सकती हूँ तो इसलिए मैं इस कोर्स में पार्टिसिपेट हुई.
Where did you do your architecture?
From DY Patil College,
Today.
Kolhapur. Hello everyone, my name is Sona Mangmo and currently I'm working here in HIAL in plantation department. Me and both Tejin, we both are working. And we don't have much information about entrepreneurship or all of those things, about business also. So the reason that we joined here is because we want to know about entrepreneurship, how we have greenhouses here in Latvia, HIAL. So here we grow some vegetables and fruits. So to get sustainable ourselves, we want to know how we can use those vegetables and what kind of product we can make through those vegetables and by value addition, how we can use it, means how we can sell products by adding values. So this is the main purpose we are here. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tashi Gelson. I'm a graphic designer. So मेरा कंपनी का नाम है क्रिएटिव लद्दाख. सो मैं यहाँ पे मतलब मैं प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन और एडवर्टाइजिंग का एक कंसल्टेंसी खोलना चाहता हूँ. सो मेरी डिजाइन जो है प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन है जो इको फ्रेंडली और इन्वायरमेंट फ्रेंडली प्रोडक्ट्स डिजाइन करना चाहता हूँ. सो दैट्स ऑल.
हेलो, मेरा नाम हिसोप है. तो मेरा जो स्टार्टअप का उसका आइडिया जो है लद्दाख में पैसिव सोलर बिल्डिंग को फैलाना. जैसे लद्दाख में भी बहुत सारे जितना भी लद्दाखी है सबका या कंक्रीट बिल्डिंग है या नॉर्मल ऐसे बिल्डिंग है जिसमें विंटर में गर्म रखने के लिए बहुत सारे खर्चे जाते हैं या पोल्यूशन क्रिएट होता है. जिसमें हम अगर पैसिव सोलर पूरे लद्दाख में फैलाए तो विंटर में जितना हमारे रहने के लिए जितना भी पोल्यूशन जाता है वो सब खत्म हो सकता है. तो
इससे कुछ है।
Hi everyone. मेरा नाम सेवांग गिल्सन है. And I started a company in 2012, and right now we started in a group. That time it was uh, basically for passive solar construction, and we were four of us. And now I'm alone. I'm continuing my individually, and I run a company called Kharlen, and basically it's a service company, and we build up passive solar houses, hotels, resort around Ladakh. And I've been in this field for last 10 years. And earlier I was a student at Segmol, and then after completing the course, I joined in, there's one section in Segmol called Sheshu, and that is particularly for the construction of passive house. So I joined that for 2 years, and after that I worked with Ecology, the Ecological Development Group is another NGO in Leh who built passive solar around Ladakh, and I worked there for 2 years. And after that, in 2012, we started our own company with the help of Sonamji. And at that time, there were like four of us, and three of us are still continuing our project construction. So now we are all cleared out, and we are continuing individually. So then in 2018, I started my own company called Kharlen, and I'm continuing it, and I've been in this project.
Oh,
Is the support group.
okay, you can still introduce.
My name is Intakhab Khan. I'm here working in a energy department, research assistant.
Yes.
Energy department.
Okay. Good.
I am Rohit.
Mhm.
I am research engineer here and coordinator of the School of Energy Studies. I research about these passive solar heated buildings and how it can be mainstreamed in Ladakh. And I'm also Gitanjali's assistant and helping in executive as an executive assistant.
July. I'm Dechan. I'm one of the academic facilitators here. I also work with the HFS team here and communications team.
Today, everyone. My name is Suring Yamses, and I'm currently working here as a content writer, and I work with the HFS team as well, Himalayan Farm Stays. So, yeah.
Hello, good morning. Myself, Sita Nokar. I'm working in ISTO party. Yeah.
Rahul.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. I'm Rahul. I work with HIAL with the executive team, and I look after culture building here, HR and branding as well.
Right. Good. Thank you for all your introductions, because it gives me an understanding what is it that you're trying to look for, and we'll try and see how we can pitch our sessions around which can help you to use whatever we do in the workshop. So this session, there are two expectations that have been set. First is to look at art and science of entrepreneurship. The second is to look at how deeply can we define our problems and therefore the solutions in such a way that it can give the energy for the entire enterprise for not just 1 year or 2 years, but for, let's say, a decade at least, right? Any purpose that we design for an enterprise, it has to give its energy, right? Energy for the enterprise, and that energy has to be there for at least for 10 years in a consistent way. If you don't have energy in a consistent way, we will have a lot of issues, right? So how do we start? So do a small exercise. Can we do a small exercise? we can do a small exercise where you just take a single page. I don't know whether you have charts, but you can at least take a single page and write deeply about your problem, the problem that you're trying to address. See, most of you have told wonderful solutions and good enterprise ideas. I want you to address what is the problem that you're trying to solve. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? We'll start with that. Like, for example, you're saying getting back to native medicine. So what is the problem that you're trying to solve? And solution is clear, right? You want to go through Ayurveda, the ancient sciences, and try and evolve solutions. But what is the problem that you want to address is the key that I want. So please spend some time, 5 minutes, and just write down about the problem that you want to address.
So, also this thing that you have, no, it has in the end for you to always keep it with you also. So later on, when you have done it, you can this can always stay with you in you. So I don't know if you saw this. So
Yeah. Do we need 5 minutes? 10 minutes? 10 minutes is good for you to formulate the problem deeply. What is the problem that you would like to address through your enterprise? What is the problem? What is the problem that you want to solve? What is the problem that you would like to address through your enterprise? Solution is clear. You want to look at passive solar constructions. What is the problem you're trying to address? Architecture, yes. What is the problem that you want to address the world?
The solution that I want to run sustainable practice.
Yes. Solutions are always known. Problems have to be defined. What's the problem? Problem that you want to solve. And while you write about the problem, if you can relate it to your own personal journey, when did you face that kind of a problem? Did you face any problem? Is it general public's problem, or is it a problem which also has some root at your own level? Does it have a root at your own level?
Google Doc like that or something. See, all external results can be related to something which you are facing internally. The root of the problem has to be something which is related to your own life. So, otherwise, it will not carry an action.
So you would have written something, but before you further fine tune that, just want to understand one. See, entrepreneurs are supposed to have what we call as internal locus of control. What is an internal locus of control? See, the entrepreneur will always be faced by lack of support from the ecosystem, right? Anywhere. In Ladakh, it will be much more higher because, you are in hill regions. And ecosystem, when I say financiers, government, or market, none of these will actually help you so much because there will be a lot of constraints. But entrepreneur survives because he is or she is passionate, right? And they're ready to face all these challenges and push things, right? Create new solutions. The energy is always from inside out. It's not from outside in, right? So when we say internal locus of control, things will originate from within. So you noticed when Sonam was speaking about that he was in his graduation time. He had to earn a little bit of money. And he also observed that other children in Ladakh are facing difficulty to pass exams, and the pass percentages were so low. From within his own issue, which is earning a life to finance his own graduation, he figured out the first enterprise solution, right? Now, the reason why he has been in education field is that he himself struggled during education, how to finance himself, right? There is a very strong root from within, which has driven him to take up education as an aim, right? Similarly, when Gitanjali was describing publication business, she was describing publication because she found that there weren't books which she could share with her own children, right? And therefore, she was looking for a solution to see what can be published and how it can be published, which is relevant to Indians, right? Indian children, talks about the culture, ethos from our own stories. So both were coming from an internal source of energy, right? And that's why those enterprises will sustain, because if it is from the external side, what happens the first time that we face a constraint, we will sit down. We will not move forward. But if it is from the internal source and internal requirement, there's a high chance that you will succeed. So I want you to urge you again, when you write your problems, don't write about problems around the world. It has to have a root from within yourself. So look at it now again and try and articulate why you want to do this enterprise as a solution. We work with women leaders, right? Women from the grassroots in the tribal area and rural areas. And often we found that leaders are those who are personally going through a lot of turmoil within their own house. As a husband who is alcoholic, beating her up, or she is not able to meet her own needs in the family, and therefore she is trying to work out some solutions which can actually improve her income so that their households are better. So that's the energy which drives them to set up an enterprise. Those are the people who become leaders in our enterprise. So I want you to look at it from that angle. Look at it from the angle of internal source of energy. Where is it coming from? What is this pain within you which is driving you to set up an enterprise? Would you need another 5 minutes to correct your problem statements? Were you able to dig deep into yourself? Done? Do you have any questions? Yes.
Actually, the problem is what the struck is over there. So we both stayed over there at the property. What the problem is faced with the room or maybe calling maybe like in the morning. So we have to use to make the room to be warmer. So this leads to the consumption of fuel, this leads to the consumption of all the finance and time. Secondly, water structure is in very early as compared to where was near the facing Ladakh. The water structure is 1 month before the other places. So we have to prepare our mind accordingly. So how to keep the water running to give a better service to the customers. So for that we used to stay around like around 3 a.m. in the morning. We used to take a shift for 15 minutes to keep the water running. So we both faced all these problems. So after facing all those problems, we thought of a solution to how to to shut this problem for 1 hour. So then we was approached by this seminar, and we were really okay.
Cite 1 or 2 examples for even around your innovation also for this in similar such kind of problems. So it won't be too you have spoken.
We have another property over there. So yeah,
1 or 2 other individuals also were at the same
all the properties.
all the properties.
98% shut because of
Yes, all of it can mention their names and story. When you narrate this problem. These problem is when you are growing as a leader, sir, I reduce the problem which you faced as a yoga.
There's no background.
Then you have to narrate that story. You have to narrate the story from outside. So that has been like when I was there, I was 20 years in the right from there and let me go. And then you can narrate your own feelings, what they have.
Business problem.
Something which you are personal.
मेरा नहीं है और सबका है वो ब्रांड जो किसी की जरूरत बनाता है इस पहला प्रोग्राम में ये फेस कर रहा हूँ
The next question that we were asked, like, what are the things which drive me to set up this type of enterprise? Is that like in Ladakh, most of the especially in winter, most of the vegetables are imported from outside. So those vegetables are highly chemically used, means fertilizer.
That's a different story. I'm saying how you relate it to yourself.
Yeah.
How do you relate it to your cousins? How do you relate it to your family? How do you relate it to your
This is related to everyone. People can
no, then we narrate to narrate the story from your side. So let's say, for example, you went to Delhi and then you were exposed to so many results. Then you always had a feeling saying that why is it that in Iraq we're not having successful results of the people at the internal page which can drive or something like your cousins or somebody, right? They don't have balanced nutrition. Their health was not so great, and therefore this vegetables were less. Now you're actually there is an external problem. Vegetables are not available in the farm. But you're now trying to generalize that solution. What is it that is paining within me, within my family, my neighbors?
Those vegetables which are import from outside, they have lots of chemical used.
Yes, that's true.
So which is harming the health of people in
You
Ladakh.
experience that.
Yeah.
You experience the.
No, but scientifically it is proven that.
That's all external reasons. What did you experience?
So to solve those problems.
That's the problem of the world. That's the problem of the world. Yes, you have to solve the problem of the world, but it has to originate from your own self.
See, what you're saying is from the mind, it has to be from the heart. So that everybody can work for that.
Like, by using different kind of methods, like value adding those vegetables, organically produced vegetables, which is just
Go more deep.
yeah.
What is it in your heart that makes you angry? That person problem face.
Oh, yeah.
If it is not anchored around the personal experience and it doesn't come from the heart, it will not stick with you for long.
When problems come, you'll go with others.
With us.
Only in the mind and idea and attraction.
Which we have already faced problems.
Yeah.
Got it.
You have to live it, deal it, solve it.
So we start. Who is ready to express the problem? And as I said, it has to come from your heart, not from the data and all those things which are there. Right? It has to come from the heart. Experience that you have gone through. Who can start? Come, the sports people, they should show. Here, come here.
Language is not a bar. Huh? All languages are equally respected. What किसी में भी आपको comfortable लगे.
Okay, so we have noted some problems that we are thinking of solving it. We don't know. The first one is ground, proper ground throughout the year so that kids can play. Second one is guidance in the form of coaching. Third one is exposure, making a career out of it actually. So right now if you look at most of the players in Leh, they are basically careerless. Basically, either you go to army or you start a new life. So basically we are trying to change that stigma, कि आपको कुछ करियर भी होगा इसके बाद. Okay, and maybe bigger picture honestly. Now I want Stanton to maybe वो अपनी तरफ से अपना life story बताए तो.
We're still talking about solutions. Come on, Stanton, I want you to narrate your story. As a sports person, what did you face? That is where it should start.
So yeah, I mean, personally, I think there was a lack of coaching facilities for me. And
The way you narrated, like in 7 years or 8 years when I started my this one, sports.
So
this is what I've experienced.
I never thought that I would do this or play this sport like throughout my life or something before. But when I tried this sport, I was really interested and never thought of leaving it, something like that. But then I got a chance to travel abroad for some coaching camps. There I explored the possibilities, the I mean, level you can reach. So that moved me a little bit. Like coming back to Leh, I wanted to keep continue doing the same
Please,
thing.
others, very important point. Do you listen the way he is narrating? So as a child, he never imagined to be an international player on this one. He went for an international exposure. So what could be the possibilities? That actually moved him. So that's the origination of the problem point, right? And I want you, every time you narrate about your enterprise, you start narrating from that point. What is the internal pain points that you have experienced, which has driven you to establish a solution? Yes, very good.
The main thing was that there was no ice, like, through summers that where we really wanted to practice. So, I mean, that's what we are here right now, that we want to change that barrier so that so the ground was the biggest problem. And then on top of that, no good guidance, no good coaches. And yeah, there's this stigma that
So what did you, when guidance was not there, what did you do? How did you still become an international player?
I'm not that good actually. I'm still learning.
I think his name
So,
is in the Guinness Book also.
but I see the possibility in the local kids that they can do really great things like in the future. So yeah.
KG, can I add some?
Yeah, please.
हाँ, see, ये जो 3 दिन है ना, इसमें बहुत हम अनलर्निंग भी करेंगे, है ना? हमारा जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है ना, वो हमको सिखाता है कि राइट आंसर बोलना है, ऑब्जेक्टिव रहना है, यू नो, माइंड से ऑपरेट करना है. बट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज अ गेम ऑफ द हार्ट. इट इज नथिंग ऑब्जेक्टिव, इट इज अ सब्जेक्टिव थिंग. तो यू हैव टू बी ओके. कोई राइट आंसर नहीं है जो कि बुक से है हमें कहना है. It is your life and what comes out of it. So let us be vulnerable. Let us be okay to talk of our personal experiences. In fact, the सबसे जो powerful pitches होती है ना, वो on a personal issue पे based होती है. There was this recently I saw an American guy in Canada. वो कहता है कि मैं यहाँ आया बिल्कुल African cuisine नहीं था. I couldn't get African cuisine, though it is a very cosmopolitan place, New York and Canada. So I started this African cuisine. He's made like food. So it was based on his personal problem. And instead of $60,000, he got 6 million in that pitching thing. So please be okay to talk about yourself. It's okay. This is what I faced. All of us have faced difficulties in our childhood. You know, our education system teaches us to keep all those, only portray the best. ऐसा नहीं है. So very good. It's okay to speak about your problems and your, challenges.
So a little bit more when you articulate, if you can articulate a little bit, what was your struggle to get your guidance? How did you find your right coach? If you just start from that,
So actually, we didn't get any proper coaches. There were some foreigners who'd come in the winters and they would train us.
Exactly.
This is a point.
This is an important.
That's how we got quality coaching. So yeah, I mean, I see that thing if in future we could promote coaches or even bring coaches from outside throughout the year, could be really helpful for the future kids to perform at a very professional levels. So yeah. And yeah, my problem was this thing that we didn't get guidance throughout. At certain age, you need more guidance in the sports. This thing there are different levels. So my problem was I was never able to be motivated at all the times. So there's a proper way guidance where you can promote kids to be motivated all the time. So yeah, that's what we're into.
Very good. And even the third point that you mentioned, there is no proper career path.
Yeah.
So that's again from your personal experience.
So yeah, that's what we can promote a lot of. We intend to do that, promote local coaches, to come up and help the kids maybe train and help themselves as well.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one point you mentioned very interesting, which should be a common one amongst all the entrepreneurs is you found opportunity in adversity. when you said foreigners came and we found coaches and you saw an opportunity to get coached by them. That was an opportunity you grasped. So I think such opportunities will need to be taken out in what has been done.
Very good. A round of applause. See, as an entrepreneur, when you're raising funds, you have to be a storyteller. You know, and this story has to be from your life. Only that touches people. You know, true story of your life and experiences.
So ma'am, so I like to continue in Hindi. So Pangong sir आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा 14,000 feet पे मतलब altitude is 14,000 feet. So वहाँ पे problems एक ही main problem है short business period हमारे लिए. तो इन ले आपको अप्रैल से लेके नवंबर तक टूरिस्ट सीजन रहता है. तो पेंगोंग में चार मंथ का रहता है 4 मंथ का रहता है. तो इसमें हमारे पास बुकिंग्स होता है, हमारे पास मतलब ऑलरेडी प्री बुक्ड होते हैं, पर हम उनको एकोमोडेट नहीं कर सकते ड्यू टू एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड. तो इसलिए हमने ये डिसीजन लिया था कि सोलर पैसिव हमारे जहन में था कि पैसिव सोलर एक ऐसा ऑप्शन है जिसमें आप मतलब अच्छे से विंटर में भी आप समर जैसा मतलब एकोमोडेशन ले सकते हैं. उसमें अब ये था कि पेंगोंग में ड्यू टू कोल्ड आपको हीटिंग जलाना पड़ता था. हीटिंग के लिए केरोसिन ज्यादा था, वुड ज्यादा था, तो इसमें एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट और बढ़ जाते थे. और साथ में जो हीट जलाने का था उसमें ऑक्सीजन, हीट ऑल्सो टेक ऑक्सीजन, जो हम आग लगाते हैं वो ऑक्सीजन लेता है. तो ऑलरेडी पेंगोंग में बहुत कम ऑक्सीजन होता है, तो हीट भी ऑक्सीजन लेता है, तो सफोकेशन जैसा आता है. मतलब बहुत ही प्रॉब्लम फेस करना पड़ा हमें. तो इसलिए हम सोच रहे थे कि पैसिव सोलर में मैं खुद यहाँ पे आके हम इधर एक्सपेरिमेंट करके बैठ के भी गए थे. मैं ब्रदर और हम दोनों इधर आके देख के गए थे. तो ये बहुत ही अच्छा स्कोप है कि हम पेंगोंग में टूरिस्ट सीजन और एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं, जिससे हमारा बिजनेस पीरियड और बढ़ सकते हैं. और पेंगोंग जैसे ही फार फ्लंग एरियाज हानले है, जांस्कर है, वो सब भी हम मतलब अभी एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं कि इन जगहों में भी हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं. इन जगहों में अभी एक तो प्लस पॉइंट हमारे पास ये था कि हमारे कॉम्पिटिटर्स में मतलब ऑलमोस्ट अभी तक कोई मतलब है नहीं पेंगोंग में इतना एफर्ट नहीं करता है कि कोई इतना. इस साल हमने नवंबर फर्स्ट वीक तक चलाया, तो बाकी सारे जो कैंप्स है वो ऑलमोस्ट सितंबर मिड में ही वो बंद कर देते हैं. तो हमने मतलब खींच के थोड़ा इसको एक्सटेंड करके नवंबर फर्स्ट वीक तक हमने इसको चला है. तो हम इन फ्यूचर सोलर पैसिव से हम होप करते हैं कि अगर ये हमारा सक्सेसफुल रहा तो हम मार्च से लेके दिसंबर तक हम टूरिस्ट सीजन पूरा पेंगोंग, नुब्रा और पेंगोंग, हानले और जांस्कर में ऑपरेशनल करने का हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
स्टिल इसमें हाँ, पेंगोंग जो है वो 14,000 स्क्वायर फुट पे है, इसीलिए वहाँ पे आपको डिफिकल्टी होता है, सीजन बड़ा नहीं है और इसीलिए बिजनेस को करना चाहते हैं. ये पैसिव सोलर बिल्डिंग्स जो है, इज इट जस्ट अ बिजनेस सॉल्यूशन, राइट? अगर आप इको टूरिज्म लेंगे तो ये पैसिव सोलर बिल्डिंग इज अ स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ इको टूरिज्म, राइट? तो जो टूरिस्ट का जो एक्सपीरियंस है, सिर्फ आप बिजनेस बढ़ाने के लिए आप ये सॉल्यूशन लेके आ रहे हो कि कंस्ट्रक्शन एक सॉल्यूशन है. It's not so appealing. It has to be a larger problem which is originating from within.
सर वन मोर पॉइंट, तो ऐसे फार फ्लंग एरिया में सर जैसे हम मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल पैसिव सोलर हम इंस्टॉल करेंगे तो उससे ये होगा कि लोकल्स, वहाँ के जो लोकल्स है वो भी सेम प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं. उनके जॉइंट्स में दर्द होता है, टेढ़े मेढ़े चलते हैं ड्यू टू एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड. तो लोकल्स भी पैसिव सोलर की तरफ जा सकते हैं. तो इसका हम रिसर्च कर रहे हैं कि थोड़ा सा इसको और थोड़ा कैसे सस्ता कर सकते हैं. तो हमने एक बार ट्राई करने का सोचा पर ट्राई नहीं हो पाया. रिसर्च किया था कि हमने इस पैसिव सोलर के लिए जो ब्रिक्स बनते हैं वो कहीं मतलब हरियाणा से कहीं जो पराली जलाते हैं उसका जो ग्रास रूट लेवल से जो काट के यहाँ लाते हैं. तो हमने खुद जो ले में भी अभी बहुत सारे मतलब अभी खेती बाड़ी होते हैं तो उनका भी हमने करने का सोचा, पर हमें इस साल तो थोड़ा मतलब ट्राई कर नहीं पाए, पर इन फ्यूचर हम करना चाहते हैं. तो इससे लोकल्स जो वहाँ पे दूर दराज एरिया में आपने शायद आप गए नहीं होंगे तो आपको ज्यादा मतलब आइडिया नहीं होगा. बहुत ही मतलब बहुत ही मतलब खराब कंडीशन में रहते हैं उनको। तो उनका ये होता है, ना तो वहाँ आग जलाने के लिए लकड़ी होता है, वुड होता है, ना कि उनके पास इतना पैसा होता है कि आप सेंट्रली हीटेड कर दे या कहीं ले से ट्रांसपोर्ट करके आग जलाने के लिए ला सकें।
तो आपका भी कुछ ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, डिफिकल्टी हैव यू?
हाँ, यस मैम, यस। पेंगोंग में मैं और मेरा भाई हम दोनों ने रात को पानी मतलब फ्लो रखने के लिए, कंटिन्यूस फ्लो रखने के लिए 15 मिनट्स का शिफ्ट दिया था हमने। क्योंकि 10 मिनट के अंदर 15 मिनट के अंदर अगर हमने पानी को थोड़ा ड्रेन करके उसको फ्लो नहीं करवाया तो वो जम जाता था। तो रात भर 15 मिनट्स का हमने मतलब बारी बारी देके रात भर पानी थ्रू रखा है। क्योंकि सुबह टूरिस्ट को बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है, हाथ धोने के लिए पानी नहीं होता है, वॉशरूम में पानी नहीं होता है, तो इसके बहुत प्रॉब्लम का फेस।
वन क्वेश्चन, तो दो तरह के बिजनेसेस है ना, जैसे एक तो आप खुद शुरू कर रहे, एक जैसे इनकी फैमिली उसमें थी,
यस
they are bringing improvement.
यस।
So you may have to talk about both kinds.
So I'll
हाँ,
provide कर देता हूँ, sure. So actually जो प्रॉब्लम्स होता है, कैसे प्रॉब्लम्स होता है उसके बारे में मेरे ब्रदर ने आपको थोड़ा हाईलाइट किया हुआ है। तो सर ने भी बहुत अच्छे से बोला कि सोशल इम्पैक्ट क्या ला सकते हैं जो हमारे बिजनेस से। वो जैसे पेंगोंग में मेरे ख्याल से बहुत ही कम लोगों, पेंगोंग एरिया में बहुत ही कम लोगों को पता होगा कि एक सोलर पैसिव का कुछ एक कंस्ट्रक्शन भी होता होगा करके। देयर हाउसेज आर ज्यादातर ब्रिक्स या स्टोन से बिल्ड होते हैं। तो हम अभी सोशल पे नहीं जाएंगे, हम अपना बिजनेस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, क्योंकि हम थोड़ा वहाँ पे बिजनेस करने के इंटेंशन से गए थे। तो हमने स्टार्टिंग में देखा कि पेंगोंग का सारा बिजनेस सीजन होता है वो 90% बिजनेस होता है मई से सितंबर तक, और 90% प्रॉपर्टीज मई फर्स्ट से स्टार्ट होके सितंबर मिड तक एंड हो जाता है, और 9.95% अप्रैल मिड से स्टार्ट होके अक्टूबर मिड तक सारे क्लोज हो जाते हैं। और ये जो हमने जो रिसेंटली जो प्रॉपर्टी स्टार्ट किया था, दैट इज द ओनली प्रॉपर्टी जो सबसे पहले स्टार्ट होगा और सबसे पहले बंद होगा। नाउ आवर प्लान इज कि इसको थ्रू आउट द सीजन कैसे बनाए, और थोड़ा इकोलॉजिकल जो इन्वायरमेंट को देख के जैसे हम फ्यूल कंजम्पशन करते हैं वो हम नहीं करना चाहते अभी। हमारे जो स्टाफ एक्स्ट्रा इंगेज होते हैं इसमें, जो वाटर के साइड से हो या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के लेके हो, जनरेटर हम यूज नहीं करते, अभी हम सोलर पे है पूरा। तो इसको कैसे रन करने के लिए हमने सोलर जो पैसिव है उसको हमने अप्लाई करने का सोचा है। और दूसरा ये ले में मेरे ख्याल से 3-4 प्रॉपर्टी है जो ये सोलर बेस्ड प्रॉपर्टी बना हुआ है। नुब्रा में भी है, अभी पेंगोंग, अल्ले और जमस्कर साइड में नहीं है। सो वी आर प्लानिंग टू सेट अप दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज इन दोस एरियाज।
सो बेसिकली यहाँ पे मेरे को ये पता नहीं चल रहा है कि ठीक है, अगर आपको पैसिव सोलर बिल्डिंग बनाना है तो बना देंगे, ठीक है, वो 1 साल में 2 साल में पैसा आएगा तो बन जाएगा। और आप हो सकता है कि 3-4 लोग और लोगों को बताएंगे या 10 लोगों को और बताएंगे तो वो लोग भी ये कंस्ट्रक्शन लेंगे। ये बिजनेस कितना तक चल सकता है? ये इसमें कुछ ज्यादा कुछ ये नहीं है ना, क्योंकि आपके पास कोई डीप रूटेड प्रॉब्लम नहीं है जो आपको सॉल्व कर रहे हो। आप सिर्फ अपना बिजनेस को ग्रो करने के लिए, अपना बिजनेस सीजन को एक्सटेंड करने के लिए आप एक पैसिव सोलर लेके आ रहे हो।
डीप रूटेड तो मैं इसलिए बोल सकता हूँ क्योंकि अभी जो पेंगोंग,
आपको समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या
हाँ,
पूछ रहा
मैं
हूँ?
समझ रहा हूँ, मैं पर्सनल मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम हुआ।
नहीं, मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि जो सोल्यूशन आप बता रहे हो उसमें रेवेन्यू जनरेशन करने का स्कोप जो है बहुत लिमिटेड है। आप अपना बिल्डिंग बना लोगे, हो सकता है 15 लोगों को 20 लोगों को बताओगे तो उससे क्या होगा? आपका एंटरप्राइज से क्या होगा?
मेरा इंटरप्राइज है सर, हम तो वही बिजनेस प्रॉफिट मेकिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आए हैं। तो हम तो जो बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं उससे कैसे प्रॉफिट जो मार्जिन होगा वो एक्सटेंड होगा, उसी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोच के आए थे।
नहीं, सही है, बहुत सारे बिजनेसेस प्रॉफिट के व्यू पॉइंट से ही चालू होते हैं, बट स्लोली, फॉर एग्जांपल अभी जैसे रिलायंस है, सबको रिलायंस के बारे में मालूम होता है, इसलिए मैं रिलायंस का एग्जांपल लेता हूँ। पहले उन्होंने ऑयल पेट्रोल बनाना चालू किया, राइट, ऑयल रिफाइनरी करके उसको ऊपर। आज वो क्यों फिर सोलार में घुस रहे हैं या फिर विंड में घुसेंगे, कोई और एनर्जी में क्यों घुस रहे हैं?
क्योंकि वो लॉन्ग टर्म बिजनेस होगा।
वो लॉन्ग टर्म, बिकॉज ये जो ऑयल का रिजर्व्स है वो कितना तक होगा और वो कितना अफोर्डेबल होगा, आज कंज्यूमर का चॉइस अलग है, तो अलग अलग रीजंस के कारण वो एक बिजनेस से चालू करते हैं पैसे बनाने के लिए, बट कस्टमर का जो प्रेफरेंस रहेगा, ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड का क्या इंटरेस्ट रहेगा, वो सब के हिसाब से उनको बिजनेस बदलना पड़ रहा है ना। तो पैसे बनाने के लिए आप जाते हो, पर लेकिन दुनिया आपको कुछ 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 बताता रहता है जिसके कारण आप अपना बिजनेस को बदलना पड़ता है ना। दूसरा, ये कोको कोला सिर्फ कोक बेचता था पहले, ठीक है, बट दुनिया बोले कि आप सिर्फ थम्स अप और कोको कोला जो कोक जो बेचोगे तो उससे लोगों का तबीयत ठीक नहीं रहता है, तो वो फ्रेश फ्रूट स्टार्ट किए हैं, फ्रेश फ्रूट जूसेस और अलग अलग चीजें, वो क्यों चालू किए हैं, वो सिर्फ कोक से ही चला सकते हैं ना। तो आज की तारीख पे पैसा बनाना इज नॉट लिमिटेड टू जस्ट हैविंग वन सॉल्यूशन एंड ट्राइंग टू गेट रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम दैट, उससे नहीं होता है
सर
बिजनेस।
बिजनेस अगर हमारा ओनली पैसा होगा तो फिर हम जो हमारा जो पास्ट प्रैक्टिस था, जो हमारा एग्जिस्टिंग कैंप्स था, एग्जिस्टिंग कॉटेजेस, तो उसको हम कंटिन्यू कर सकते थे। बट ये जो हमारा जो नया प्लान किया हुआ है और जो अभी एक हमारा एग्जिस्टिंग रनिंग है, वो मेरे ख्याल से इवन इफ यू चेक ऑनलाइन तो अभी के पेंगोंग का हाईएस्ट रेटेड और सबसे अच्छा प्रॉपर्टीज है। तो जो हम आगे करना चाहते हैं वो थोड़ा इकोलॉजिकल, जो अभी जो हमने पैसिव सोलर बोला हुआ है और उसमें सारा थ्रू हम चाहते हैं कि हम हमारे से, क्योंकि हम जिस कस्टमर को मिलते हैं दे आर वेरी हाई एंड क्लाइंट्स, जो ग्रैंड ड्रैगन का क्या घर में बैठे वो बताते हैं कि प्लीज ये पेंगोंग जैसे एरिया को आप लोग क्लीन रखो, डोंट पोल्यूट देम। तो हम अपने साइड से ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि अच्छा सा एक जो मतलब इकोलॉजिकल, तो ये हम हमारा पेंगोंग अकेले में नहीं है।
अभी थोड़ा आप रीजन को पकड़ रहे हैं, इट्स जस्ट नॉट पैसिव सोलर, आप इकोलॉजिकल सॉल्यूशन लेके आना चाहते हो, टूरिज्म जो इनकम भी जनरेट कर सकता है और लोगों का उस एरिया को भी प्रिजर्व कर सकता है और आगे जाके लेके जा सकता है। तो ये लार्जर कॉज है, उसमें पानी का प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, उसमें एनर्जी का प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, उसमें वेस्ट डिस्पोजल का प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, उसमें कुछ और प्रॉब्लम, इकोलॉजिकल में बहुत सारे इश्यूज आ जाते हैं, राइट। लाइफस्टाइल का प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, फूड का प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, कौन से फूड को कंज्यूम करेंगे, लोकली ग्रोन फूड को कंज्यूम करेंगे या नहीं। जब इकोलॉजिकल बताएंगे तो बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आ रहे हैं, राइट। तो नाउ यू आर एबल टू डिफाइन इट बेटर और इकोलॉजिकल लेवल पे।
छोटा सा स्टेट्स बताना चाहूंगा। ले में अराउंड मेरे ख्याल से 2000 प्लस प्रॉपर्टीज है, तो आप एवरेज 15 इंटू कर सकते हो, विच विल 30,000 रूम्स मेरे ख्याल से ले में। नुब्रा में उसका 1/4 होगा, अराउंड 500 प्रॉपर्टीज, मोर देन दैट। और पेंगोंग में ओनली 130 और 40। सो पेंगोंग में जो टूरिस्ट का इन्फ्लक्स है वो डिफरेंट स्केल पे है। सो यू माइट बी नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द फैक्ट कि पेंगोंग में समर में मई जून जुलाई अगस्त में रूम्स बिल्कुल नहीं मिलता है। यू जस्ट फॉरगेट कि सर्विस क्या मिलता होगा, किस कैटेगरी का मिलता होगा। पीपल आर फोर्स टू स्टे इन डाइनिंग हॉल्स, क्योंकि वहां पे टूरिस्ट इन्फ्लक्स इतना है, प्रॉपर्टीज अच्छे नहीं है। सो दो हमारे पास ऑप्शन था कि ऐसे ही नॉर्मल प्रॉपर्टीज जो हाई रेट पे सेल कर सकते थे, क्योंकि वहां पे डिमांड ज्यादा था, सप्लाई कम था, तो प्राइस ऑब्वियसली जो छोटे कॉटेजेस जो जिसका सर्विस अगर आप बाहर देखेंगे तो 500 रुपए मिलता है, वहां पे 5,000 लेता था। सो वी हमारा वो भी था कि ऐसे कर सकते थे, बट हमने थोड़ा सा टूरिस्ट को कैसे सर्विस दे, हमने 24 पहला प्रॉपर्टी होगा पेंगोंग में जिसका 24 आवर्स इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होगा, 24 आवर्स हॉट वाटर सर्विस होगा। थोड़ा इनोवेशन के लिए हमने हमारे जो रूफ पे ग्लासेस लगाए। सो वी ट्राई टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट। देयर आर प्रॉपर्टीज हु चार्ज मोर देन 15,000, बट दे आर हमें हमसे मेरे ख्याल से वी दे फेस्ड अ रियल कंपटीशन फ्रॉम आवर साइड। सो नेक्स्ट ईयर हम इसको थोड़ा, क्योंकि वी आर लर्निंग।
ये जो आपके अंदर से आया कि थोड़ा बेटर सर्विस देना, ये कहाँ से आया?
क्योंकि हमने पहले भी प्रॉपर्टी रन कर चुके थे मैम। जो प्रॉपर्टी हम मई में स्टार्ट करते थे उसको सितंबर बंद करना पड़ता था।
एक्सपीरियंस से
Yeah.
you wanted to do. So that is the core value.
No, I'll just explain it. So there is a enterprise life cycle which is very important for you to understand. Yeah. So standard enterprise life cycle आपने सुना होगा या फिर कहीं भी देखा होगा is like this, right? Have you seen this earlier? Anywhere? Anybody has seen this? This is time. Okay. So as the time goes, every enterprise will go through this cycle, right? It's a startup. This is a startup. There's a slow growth. And then you get some idea which is actually start generating revenue. So you get into a growth phase. So there is a rapid growth expansion which happens. And then there is a decline. So this is a decline phase. This is a normal enterprise life cycle. Enterprise life cycle is always by this kind of a situation. Is it clear? Anybody who is not understood, you can ask me. Is this clear? There is a startup, slow growth, right? And then there is a, you would have hit some revenue by which it start moving up, and there is a rapid expansion. At some point, it will decline. Now, each of this phase gets into the next phase only when there is a small innovation. So innovation drives each of this phase. Innovation drives each of this phase, right? At each phase, you have to come with a new idea, right? Like, for example, you have seen Colgate, right? Toothpaste. They've been selling toothpaste for last 70 years or 80 years, right? Usually, when they have only one single product, at some point, it will also go through this phase. It will grow initially, and at some point, it will start having decline in sales. So, what do they do to expand the life cycle? What do they do? What was it? Like in Colgate, what was it?
Namak.
Colgate salt, Colgate Ayurveda, right? Colgate something, right? So now they in between they used to have some black one, which was what Colgate coal, charcoal, something, right? So every time they try to do this product, what are they doing? They're extending the life cycle. They want to push this, right? They are trying to add one feature which will help them to increase the life cycle of the enterprise, right? So the question here is that when we design an enterprise, if it is focused on a quick fix solution, if it's focused on a very quick fix solution, the cycle becomes smaller and smaller, right? It can also be like this. Why not? It can also be like this, right? How does this curve not be like this, but become something like this? What is the energy which will push you to go to that level? At every stage, you have to keep satisfying the customer, right? Customer too is always going to play a central role. The consumer is going to play a very central role. You have to keep satisfying the consumer every time. But how do you ensure that your enterprise doesn't go this cycle, but it goes into this cycle? Can anybody tell? How does it happen? It depends on what we call as how deeply have you defined your problem. From there it starts. If you define your problem very well and very deeply, then you are not coming with one-odd solutions. So if you are in pharmaceutical company, right? If you are an equivalent as a pharmaceutical company, you don't survive because of one medicine, right? There is an internal research which keeps on going on, picking up multiple issues which the consumer is having, right? And which drives those solutions, right? Look at Pfizer or anybody. They might have started with just one antibiotic as a solution, but today they will have plethora of solutions, right? Various issues depending on the way, and this consumer is also undergoing a change. The issues which the consumer was facing, let's say in 1950, is not the same issues which the consumer of today's world is facing. Today's world, the consumer is facing maybe diabetes, high stress levels. They're totally different compared to what they were facing in 1950s when Pfizer originated, right? So if they were not anchored around trying to design solutions, which is contemporary health issues, which are addressing the contemporary health issues, then their cycle would have ended here. But they have survived and moved to here because they defined their problem in much more holistic way, which is how do I give you a comprehensive health solution for a consumer? So antibiotic and fever was not the only reason why they originated or ended with that. Their origination and this one is quite long. Do you understand? In the same tourism industry, if you say, I want my business to grow, right? You are actually not anchored around what the consumer is wanting. So you yourself are saying that the international customer today is asking for safe space, ecologically non-polluting way of living, a living which is totally different, right? A lifestyle solution which is completely different from the traditional tourists, right? The big hotels are today facing a lot of issue. Why? Because they were anchored around a lifestyle which is completely different from what the customer is wanting today, right? And that has to be internal. That solution, the need for to be an ecologically friendly ecotourism providing kind of a solution provider cannot be just one simple thing about passive solar building. I know this itself is a big solution, but beyond this, there are many issues for an ecologically required tourist kind of thing. So is this understood?
Yes.
You cannot anchor around products and one single product. That's not the way you actually run your enterprise. You anchor around a long-term problem for which there will be 100 products that will be required. And that will drive the energy.
Problem should be long enough to survive. Stay there through your lifetime. The way you define the problem should be big enough that your entire lifetime is needed to solve
that. It's very, very central, very much the most central thing for your enterprise. If you don't understand this, that it has to originate from yourself, from within your heart, and the problem has to be such a one, defined in such a way that it gives you 100 products, not one single product. It should not give you one product. If it gives you one product, that product will die and your enterprise will also die very soon.
You may want to help them reformulate.
No, I'm saying that they have to go through the process. It's not that we give a quick answer for that. I want you to anchor around ecology, right? You started speaking about it. Talk about anchor around ecology. What is the ecological issues that you're facing in Ladakh? And personally, what is the ecological issues that you have faced? Like you said, the way you found electricity, water, right? maybe healthy food, all sorts of ecological issues that you faced. I want you to go back and reflect on what are all the ecological issues that you have faced in your own lifetime.
In fact, ये जो short cycle आप बोल रहे हो ना tourism का, this also adversely impacts ecology. ना?
Yeah.
Just 1.5 lakh people in Leh and 3 lakhs come in only those 4 months. So the city does not have the facilities to provide. So you are decongesting the city and also lengthening the period. It is not just as a tourist opportunity, you know, it links back to your ecology also. Because it is hampering the, you know, the ecology.
So a little bit more research, both within your own life and also to look at the ecological issues which are related to tourism, then will help you to articulate the problem better. Do not articulate the problem as passive solar construction. It's only one product. Right? Huh? Okay, next. Are we running out of the time?
We can take it up after lunch.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
We can all break for lunch. After lunch,
Are we all hungry?
Yeah.
At least the food will get cold, so we'll eat and come.